Hello, hello, hello. It is your boy Mike. I haven't done a Raptors talk in a while. Like I haven't done it in I feel like I haven't done it in so long. Probably ever since Pascal got traded. I'm a big Pascal guy. If you haven't watched me before, I've always been a big Pascal guy. He's with the Pacers. You have to move on. It's just how teams are. No matter what it is, you move on. But the season's upon us, and I feel like I gotta start talking Raptors again, which I love doing. I don't care if I get 1 view, 100 view, doesn't matter. I love talking Raptors, and I know a lot of people who love talking Raptors as well. And if you like watching it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But quite frankly, I just want to talk. I just want to talk. So if you're washing dishes, just hear me out. If you're just, doing something, just listen to me. I had so much things that I wanted to say about the Raptors throughout last season. But all in all, I want to start off by just saying I didn't like how last season was. Like I hated it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like losing. And I want to win. I want to win games. Like I want to be competitive. And I understand this team wasn't going to be competitive. I could argue a few things about competitiveness and timelines and all that other stuff, and whose team is it going to be, blah, blah. I can argue all that, all that I can argue. But I just didn't like last year. I hated it. Honestly, I hated it. It was like the worst. I feel like the way Masai was on the first, immediate day last year, the way Darko spoke, when you watch the team play, you could tell that they were trying to purposely not have Pascal as involved. They want to have Scotty more involved. You clearly knew that the Raptors were trying to trade a Pascal and an OG. It's just shitty. It was just like, what was the purpose of the season? Like I don't know. It was just bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. I didn't like it, man. It was you know, to me, we dealt with the Vince Carter leaving. We dealt with, Chris Bosh leaving. DeMar wanted to stay. Um, Kyle, as much as people love Kyle, and I like Kyle too, but he was also at one point wanting to leave as well. It wasn't like he wasn't willing to leave at one point. He was willing to leave as well. But he stayed and eventually left, which we all knew was going to happen. It was a handshake agreement that the team's going to a different direction. You're an old vet. You want to win some titles. Go do your thing. Go do your thing for sure. And then, we had the new era with, the Freds and the Pascals, and it became rocky. OG in and out of the lineup, all those things. It just became rocky. I get it. They had to move on. They had Scotty, the young rook. You had to move on. You had to move on. And it's just the way the team was. But I will say this, where all this to me started, where the Raptors timeline was really messed up, and this is where they started really thinking about their timeline, was that Tampa season. It was a Tampa season. It was a horrible season for the Raptors. And it was just a season that made everyone evaluate, okay, well, we're not good enough right now. Obviously, there's circumstances of why we're not good enough. We come into this season, we get in the Tampa season, what did we do? We trade Norman Powell for Gary Trent. Well, we didn't sign Gary Trent. He was the young person. We wanted to get a young guy to build with these other, core pieces that we had in Fred OG and Pascal. So we brought a Gary because he didn't fit the timeline of Norman Powell and everything. And Norman Powell was older, I should say. Now, who would you rather have? Norm or Gary Trent? I think a lot of people would say Norm. A lot of people would say Norm. So I always think to myself, and I'm once again a Norm fan. I really am a Norm fan. If Norm was on this team, I think this team would be a lot better. They would have been a lot better. You would have had a 3-point threat because at one point this team couldn't shoot threes. Gary wasn't the starter that you wanted him to be. I just think that pedigree was good. Everybody loves the year we won the title. But if you're a true Raptor fan, a fan that watched game after game, wins and losses in the past, you knew that run it back season, that year after the title, was one of the funnest seasons we've ever had in Raptor history. It just was. It's like we saw the growth of Norm, we saw the growth of Pascal, we saw the growth of Fred. We've seen Kyle just become an excellent leader. I think that's the year that we all said he was the greatest Raptor of all time, just because of all the things that he did. He just that team was so good, man. Marc Gasol, Ibaka, even some moments of Stanley Johnson, and then Ryan. Ryan Hollis Jefferson, like all those people were like Rondé. I'm just saying Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Like it was fun, man. It was fun. We were wondering what this team was going to become, and it just wasn't what we had hoped for. That team, hey, forget the bubble. If that team is here and Pascal's playing that way, they're beating Boston that series. They're facing Miami. Who's to say they're not going to the finals? Are they probably losing to the Lakers at that time? Potentially. But I think that team could have. But that's a woulda, coulda, shoulda. The team progressed. They are where they are today. But yeah, I just wanted to say how much I didn't like the way things happened last season. Do I think Pascal could have been on this team this year? Yes, I do think so. I think a team with Pascal, RJ, Scotty, and quickly Anna Pirtle, would that be a good team? Yeah. Did you want to pay all those people? I agree. That's where it really comes down to. It's the money. The money you couldn't pay all those guys the way you wanted to. Do I believe in the timeline thing? No, I think it's just an easy way it's an easy excuse. It's an easy excuse. End of the day, the Warriors are having that trouble right now, but everyone wants to play under Steph's timeline. Steph is Steph Curry. I understand that. But to act like Pascal, and I can be completely wrong, would have been the type of player that says, well, I'm the number one guy. It can't be me and Scotty. No, I'm pretty sure he would have let Scotty develop. I'm pretty sure Pascal's the type. He's now on the team where he's the second guy. So you're telling me on his own team he didn't want to be the second guy? That doesn't make sense. But with the Pacers, he's willing to take the step back. And I know a lot of Raptors fans would probably fight and be like, "Well, Scotty's better than Tyrese Halliburton." And if you think so, then why wouldn't Pascal not work with him? They are different play styles. I think Scotty's more of a point guard. I do think Pascal needs the ball. I do think so. That's the best version of Pascal's when he has the ball in his hands. But at the end of the day, I think they could have worked together. Plus having an RJ Barrett, plus having an Emmanuel quickly. I think that team would have been good. This team, if Pato got paid, IQ got paid, Scotty gets his extension. I think this team, if you ask me honestly, I think this team would have been like better than the Cavs. So probably like the fifth best team in the East, honestly. And I think they can compete, especially if an RJ Barrett is still growing, Quickly's growing, and a Barnes is growing. And you have Pascal just being kind of that connector for all of them, being that vet to help them along the way. Yeah, I do think that team would have been much better. I do think so. But we have to move on. We have to. And I'm one of the people that has to move on to it, which I have. I've definitely moved on from there. But I feel like I had to get my point across of how I felt about last year and how I think it all could have worked out. So I truly think it could have worked out. I think so. I think it's all a mental thing. If you all just talk about it, work on things, like fix things, things can work out. It doesn't have to be, oh, this guy has to be number one. This guy has to timeline. I think if we all just said, okay, this is our team. Everyone love each other, fuck with each other, and they would have done it. They would have done it. These guys are professionals. They would have done it. I think it's incorrect. But I also think, I love Masai, I love Bobby, but I think they could have managed this better? Yeah, they could have managed it better, 1,000%. There's no question they could have managed this better. They could have definitely managed this better. The Jakob Poeltl trade was an issue. I like Yak. I don't like what he just recently said in that media day, how he doesn't believe his team is going to be good and win. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I hate it. I hate that shit. Don't do that. I don't like that. I want to win. Don't talk about losing. And that's what it comes down to. I just want to win games. A lot of some Raptor fans talking about tanking. Thank goodness we didn't get the pick. I will say that. I never wanted the pick last year. I don't care who it was. Unless it was like, I didn't want it. This is the pick. This is the year that I want the pick for sure. Imagine if we got a pick last year and this is the year that this team won't be good. And you're counting on what? What are you counting on? You're not gonna get the pick. No, I'm glad. I'm definitely glad. This draft is set to be much better. All drafts are crapshoots, so it is what it is. But I rather that. I rather that than anything else. I rather get this year's draft pick because a better crapshoot, as many of them say. So I rather that. So if the Raptors are good or bad, it all depends. And I'll thing is I'll do more videos before the Raptors season starts. We have a few days to do more videos. I just want to kind of air out my thoughts. But this is the new era. And that's what I really want this video to be about. It's the new era. It's the Scotty Barnes era. That's what first of all, Scottie Barnes era. He has his running mates and Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, who I believe RJ Barrett can be so good. I may do a video on him too, because like I think when they say Star J, I see Star J. I definitely see Star J. I see most improved player. I see all star RJ Barrett. I see it. If this team was good this season, if they somehow won like 45 games, 46 games, I would say it's because of RJ Barrett's improvement as a player. I think he's incredibly talented. I think he is the guy that I would want to score the most out of all of them, or attempt the most. I believe Scotty's best version of himself is like a better offensive version of Draymond Green, definitely better offensive version of Ben Simmons because he's taking the shots that Ben Simmons would never take. Uh, what's this guy? Draymond takes those shots, so I'll give him that. But better offensive version of these guys, but young, obviously, is more athletic than these guys as well. So I think that's where Scotty is. I think Emmanuel quickly is a bucket getter. I kind of want to see him really own the defensive end because I think we've seen the makings of it. I know one of his favorite players is Drew Holiday. I want to see that. Same thing with RJ. I want to see RJ be a better defender. I want to see RJ become a more all-around player, become a Chris Middleton archetype. Like I don't know what his archetype is right now, but I can see a Chris Middleton archetype with him. So I'm really curious to see that. I think we all try to pick a team and be like, well, they're like this, they're like this, like that. Well, maybe Scotty's the Giannis, maybe RJ's the Chris Middleton, and then maybe quickly could be the Drew Holiday because Drew Holiday is an all-star. Let's never forget, Drew Holiday can score points like most NBA players. He just chooses not to. He chooses not to. He chooses not to score like 20 points a game, but the man can still score. So I'm hoping that Emmanuel quickly can become that guy for us defensively, offensively. This team will definitely need his offense because they don't have much. So I'm hoping to see the growth of those three guys. I want to see the growth of Grady Dick. He may be the starting shooting guard this year. He really may be. So we'll have to see when it comes to that. Many people want Bruce Brown traded. Maybe, maybe he'll get traded, maybe not. Um, there's a bunch of rumors. Does he need to get traded? Yeah. I don't know what the market is for him that Masai is looking for. I'm hoping like it's probably second round picks, but at the end of the day, you can keep getting draft capital. You can't keep it all. We all love OKC, and I'm gonna say it now, and I said it before, and I could be obviously completely wrong about this, and I understand that. But I'm pretty confident that OKC will not win a title with J Dub, Chet, and Shea all on the same team. They just won't. And I'm not saying because they can't win a title. I think they definitely can. Money, you have to pay all three. And the way the salary cap is, you don't want to do it. Yes, a team like Boston did it. But unless you feel like you're right in that cusp, then they'll probably do it. Of course, they will make I just don't believe that they'll make the money become its main thing. I don't believe it. But well, at least they shouldn't. They shouldn't be that cheap. If you're that close to a title, you pay everybody. You should never care about second aprons when, yeah, you have to pay the tax bill, but trust me, you're making enough money through the merchandise, through the tickets. And Raptor tickets, holy moly, what's going on? That's got to be cheaper, MLC. That got to be cheaper, man. This team ain't gonna be that good. We should not be paying out the ass for prices. It just shouldn't be that way, at all. It should never be that way. Yeah. So, Bruce Brown may get traded. Maybe some Jakob Poeltl trade. But it's all about the young guys, man. That's the future. I'm looking forward to see Jacoby. I know he's injured, but I'm looking forward to seeing him when he's back. I want to see what he can do. Mugbo, I like him. I do like him. I think he has talent, man. I think he has a lot of talent. So let's see. Chamche, oh, I believe in him. I believe in him a lot, actually. Ain't gonna lie. He's like a project waiting to happen, and he is a project. Like to me, guys, don't worry about this guy. Don't. He may play at the end of the season because the team won't be good. He may play next season a couple times, but I'm telling you, when he's developed more of an NBA body and he becomes better with certain things about the NBA, I think his talent, he's such a raw talent. And you're obviously talking about the extreme version of how good they can be. But I do believe that the extreme version of this guy is an NBA All Star. Truly speaking, I think that guy could be good, really talented. He's already so fast, but I think when he gets that, the ball handling skills, the paint touch, the ability to, go side to side defensively, when all those things happen at a consistent level, not just at the level it is now, consistent and at an elite level, man, sky's the limit for that guy. I think he's truly really good. Really, really good. But we've moved on, man. We're in a new season, new beginnings for this Raptor team. It's the BBQ era. There's not much you can say. Last year sucked. And win-wise, this year may suck as well, but at least they may be fun. And hopefully they're fun. And hope there's growth. Like this season's all about. That's probably could be the title of this thing. This whole season for the Raptors is all about growth. It should be about development. Raptor fans don't look for 50 wins. It won't happen. But don't also lose games and be like, oh, this team shit. This is what we all wanted. We wanted growth, man. We wanted to see the development of Scotty Barnes. We want to see the development of Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett. This is not the season that I'm predicting for them. I predict them probably to be like a play-in team. Maybe not know top 8 team that's gonna make it to the playoffs. Maybe I don't see that. But next year I probably will see that because some teams should be getting older. They should technically. And maybe some teams will blow it up. You never know. But that's it for now. I think I can talk for another 50 minutes about this Raptors team, but I'm probably gonna talk more about them because they're my favorite team, man. Besides the Utah Jazz, who need to tank, but they're my favorite team. Like, comment, and subscribe.